All right, how's it going there, fifth grade? So, in this week's art lesson, we are going to be following up your teacher's in classroom unit about who we are, and we are going to be taking the All About Us math problems and transforming it into an art piece. So, what you are going to do is you're going to choose one of your math problems that you've been creating in class, or one that you just pick right now, and you're going to create a composition. Okay, composition is a fancy word for a drawing or where you place things in your artwork. Okay, and we're going to use a special rule that we get from photography called the rule of thirds. Okay, so if you can see my page right now, I'm going to explain what the rule of thirds is. Simply, it is when we divide our paper into 3 even parts on both directions. And you'll end up with what looks like 9 different squares. Okay, and this is how you accomplish that using a piece of paper and a ruler. So I have some drawing paper, and it is 9 inches. And so when I divide 9 by 3, I'm going to get 3 inches. So every 3 inches, I have to place a mark. So put 2 there. Then I come down here, and I do the same thing. I put a mark at 3, and I put a mark at 6. Every 3 inches. Now, the sides are a little trickier. This paper is 12 inches long, so I still divide it by 3 because I still want 3 equal parts on this side. 12 divided by 3 is 4, and so for every 4 inches, I mark it. So I mark it at the 4, I mark it at the 8, same on the other side. I mark it at the 4, and I mark it at the 8. And then I get this grid-like system when I connect my lines together. So I'm just going to darken these a little bit, like this, like this, and then the 2 vertical lines. Okay, and this creates 9 equal parts of our paper. Now, here are the important parts for the rule of thirds. Okay? What we need to do is we need to make a work of art that uses these intersecting points on our paper. And so we want to line things up. We want things to go through these points, and that will actually make a strong work of art just by using or lining up different elements in our drawing on these marks. Okay? And so, for example, I could choose any math problem. The one I decided to choose is 1 plus 1 equals 2. So simple. Okay? For this one, what I'm going to do is it's 1 plus 1 equals 2 because me and my wife equal 2 kids. That's just happened to be how it worked out for us. So what I'm going to do is I want to focus on putting the 2 in the background, really big, and I'm going to put it through or draw it through a whole bunch of these points. So watch. If I start the inside of my 2 right here and draw through this point, and then bring the end through here, and finally end up down here, I can make a big, gigantic bubble letter 2. And it will look good on my paper because I'm going through and using these points. Okay, so this beginning drawing is a sketch. What I mean by a sketch is it's a not complete drawing. This is a practice so that you can figure out where you would like things to end up. Okay, so there's my big 2. I still need my 1 plus 1 now, okay? And so I decided I was going to do that diagonally. You can, of course, always use a ruler for this, but that is up to you. I'm going to freehand it. I'm going to put my 1 right here, just like this, okay? On diagonal, and I'm centering it right here on one of my points, one of my areas in my thirds. Make a big giant 1, just like that. Down here, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put my other 1 right on here. Okay, this one is going to not be centered. It's going to go a little bit farther up, but I'm going to sketch it in there. Okay, so I've got my 1. Now I need the plus sign in the middle between these two, and I'm going to line it up here. I'm going to draw my plus sign, just like this. Okay, so that is step number 1 to this artwork. Okay, you have to come up with your equation. Okay, it can be as simple as your age. So it could be, if you're 10, it could be 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 to equal 10. It could be 2 times 5 equals 10. So maybe that's what you want to do. On a different one that I did that I'd like to show everybody is I did how many days I've been alive. So what I did is I have my 35 here, because I'm 35 years old, times my 365 days in a year. And then in the background, hiding behind all this, I'll turn it, I have my answer to that. 10,000, or so I should say 12,775, okay? So you can make it as complicated as you want or as simple as you want to accomplish this goal. And so that's step 1. You want to make a composition using your equation and using your rule of thirds on a sheet of paper. All right, students, that's where we'll start for this project. Next week, we'll come back for some more.